I would first like to thank you all for being here today in person and via Zoom to celebrate the life of Uncle June. The number of you who took the time to gather here is a testament to how important Uncle June was in many of your lives. I would also like to take this time to express my sincere condolences to Auntie Nita and my cousins John and Mark. I was honored when John asked me to give the eulogy today, but I'm also very nervous about finding the right words to speak. I apologize in advance if it's not polished, as I have less than 24 hours to prepare this. My name is PAYAD. I share the same last name as Uncle June. My dad and Uncle June were siblings. When my dad passed away, we scattered his ashes under the Golden Gate Bridge here in San Francisco, California. In one of my conversations with Uncle June, he mentioned wanting to join Papa to keep him company. So the plan is to scatter his ashes under the Golden Gate Bridge as well, so he can be with my dad. Uncle June's full name was Jesus PAYAD Jr., born in 1946. He was the 8th of 8 kids, starting with Auntie Miting, Auntie Lydia, Auntie Oring, Auntie Sylvia, Jaime, my dad, Auntie Pasing, Auntie Ellie, and lastly Uncle June. Uncle June retired over 20 years ago from Pacific Gas and Electric. It's a utility company like Meralco in the Philippines, for those being Zoom in the Philippines. He loved working there. It was the highlight of his career. Today, I also work at Pacific Gas and Electric. You could say I'm following his footsteps. My early memories of Uncle June were in our Lolo's house in Cubao. I still remember the address, 28 Liberty Avenue. During major holidays, birthdays and anniversaries, my cousins and I would all go to Cubao. Lolo, Lola, all the aunts and uncles would be present. Those were the fun times that I recall during my childhood. All the family gathered together. Everybody loved Uncle June's sense of humor. He was making a story one time when he was living in the Westlake apartment complex. Someone started knocking really hard at the door. He got mad and rushed to the door, looked into the peephole to see who it was. Uncle June asked, "What do you want?" Some guy was yelling outside. "I'm your neighbor next door. Do you have cable?" Uncle June was already mad because the guy knocked so hard at the door. Uncle June said, "Yes, I have HBO." Well, the guy started scratching his head in confusion and left. Well, the neighbor was looking for jumper cables, not cable TV. This next account is from my cousin Lynette. She said Uncle June was good at cooking and loved to experiment. He made ham during Christmas for Noche Buena. He created his own marinade and injected it into the ham using a big syringe, and it always turned out so good and juicy. I remembered Uncle June working at Los Angeles Bakery in Gagalamin, Tondo, Manila, always by the counter or the cashier. He started working there when he was 15 years old. I guess working at the bakery made him good at baking. He would explain to me how flour gives the structure for the product, how yeast can alter the consistency, how sugar affects the end product. I just nodded my head and go, I was more interested in the eating part of the process. So. He did share his mamon recipe to me, and it looked easy, and I tried to make it. The recipe was simple, and I was able to make it. It turned out really good, actually, better than Goldilocks, believe it, I swear. Unfortunately, I no longer have that recipe, and it's lost forever, like Uncle June. Uncle June, I will miss our conversations, our laughs, our dim sum lunches. And a quote said, "The song is ended, but the melody lingers on." This quote reminds me of Uncle June, even though he is no longer with us. We were all blessed with his presence in our lives. He will live on through our stories and memories. I promise not to cry. Thank you again for being here today to support Atinita and the rest of the family. We would love to hear, from your favorite memories of Uncle June. He meant the world to us, and we would like to know about the joy he brought to others' lives too. Thank you.